Hello there and welcome to a part 1.5, let's call it, of the Disney TV. And if you haven't gone back and watched part 1 already, I'm going to leave it linked in the description. Do go and watch that because the title and thumbnail will have spoiled one out of the 3 scenes, but we might be talking about the other 2 scenes. And the first part has you guessing which 3 Disney movies I made in the Disney TV. But as you can see, one of those is WALL-E, one of my fiance's favourite Disney movies, and a solid Disney movie at that. Can we take a second to appreciate WALL-E? It's so simple, or it's not simple, it's an animated movie, it's far from simple, but the story is so straightforward and it's a great Disney movie. Still holds up nearly 20 something years after its movie come out. And you'll also see in part 1 why we recolored the brown to grey on the TV, but I'm not going to explain that here. Today we're here to take a look at the scene and the extra little bits that I have made for this scene, because last time you saw it, it looked a little something like this. We have WALL-E, Eve and the boot, and a few of you now have asked how I put together this little scene. In the previous video you would have seen the time-lapse of the scenery, and those of you that did watch that will know that the background is created pretty much purely out of 1x2 tan plates. Yep, just 1x2 tan plates. There's no like 1x1s or 1x3s hidden underneath that I know of. Maybe there, I don't think there is. It looks like a very simple shape to create. All 1x2 plates, and we've got a few tiles. And the bottom I have switched up. Originally, there was some 1x3s either side of a 1x4 snot brick, but I have included a few other elements, one of which is quite a rare one, this 1x2 snot brick, except for it isn't. We don't like to use rare pieces here on the channel, we like to use common pieces, and you can create them, which goes over my head a lot of the time, using a 1x2 Technic brick with one hole in the middle and putting either a dark bluish grey or a red pin, because they're the ones with the friction ridges, and the light bluish grey and the blue ones, and most other colours won't have the friction ridges. Oh, white! I forgot about white as well. White doesn't have friction ridges, but here are all the different colours of pins. We've got a video going over this, so I'll make this quick. We've got the friction ridges on the red and the dark bluish grey, which I'm not entirely sure if there's a difference between the two of them. They look the same, and you can see in the light there's a few little bumps on it. They look like they're not meant to be there, but they're actually helping these pins stop rotating in the Technic bricks, and they're absent on the blue, grey and white ones. You can see this is smooth as a baby's bum. I'm not going to Google that. I don't know where the saying comes from, but they're pretty smooth pins and will rotate freely in Technic bricks or beams or any sort of Technic connection. We don't want them rotating because our characters will be spinning for days, so I've gone with the grey one and then used 2 of my favourite snot brick on the side. The 2-plate tool rounded off one. You can see on the bottom, there's a few of these we've also added to the TV. You're probably more interested in how I created the popular characters, and there's an improvement that I want to make to Eve as well, who I called Evie in the original video, and I meant to call Eva, because that's what WALL-E refers to Eve as. Eva. Eve 01 is the designation of the Eve unit that we know and love from WALL-E, and also the boot. The boot's fairly simple, takes a lot of inspiration from the Brickheads one. We've got a 1x2 rounded reddish brown plate with a 1x1 hollow stud just above that, and a little plant that sticks all the way through, and you can even make it smaller once it's connected to the base. You're able to push it through the pin of the snot brick. Come on, it's a very tight connection once you've used 2 plates, and there you go. Make it a bit more minifigure scale. You probably could have guessed that that word was going to pop up today. These are what I consider minifigure scale. The boot is roughly the size of a minifigure boot. In fact, we have our Woody also from the Disney TV set, and you can see Woody's boots are about 2 plates tall. Okay, they're not as thick. Maybe this one's been stretched out with all the dirt inside it, but again, minifigure scale. WALL-E is taken from the Lego city that we used to have in the backdrop before getting rid of it. Uses a snot brick on the inside with a yellow plate on the back, a yellow tile on the front, which I am definitely going to need to print if this stays built for another video, which I think it will. This is my favorite scene so far, and Toy Story was pretty good. And then for the head, we've got binoculars on a 1x1 yellow stud. Zoom in on that, and can we have the colors of those three elements? I thought they were the same in person. That middle stud looks to be a different color. Let me fix that. Before I place this one on, can we just confirm, yeah, that is the same color. I'm not colorblind. All right, I'm not colorblind. Stop in the comments. No, you, stop. Don't say it. I'm not colorblind. I can clearly tell that they're different colors now, but when they were between the two yellows, that was off-putting. And then for the treads, we've got a 1x2 black jumper tile plate. Jury's still out on that one. And that completes our Wally minifigure scale creation. I think Wally was just offset at an angle so that he could be, or they could be looking at the boot. I don't think Wally or Eve are gendered. And then for Eve, it's a bit trickier. What we have here is one of the plates off the background, and then we have a 1x1 stud with, I'm not going to try and explain this element, I'm going to show you this, the 1x1 plate with the little hammer, the tentive head sticking out of it. I'm sure this is the piece Lego used for the tentive head in the Star Wars logo, and tiled off the top, and this is going to act as the main body of our Eve character. For either side For either side, we've got these 1x3 slopes, and to stop there being a gap in the middle, maybe this would have been easier to place before we put it down, I've added another 1x1 plate to one of the sides. You get to pick which side. They match up in the middle, so it still looks symmetrical, and Eve is connected to the background. There is a 1x2 element that could be used in the place of this 1x1. And I don't know how common it is as to whether it comes in white. Also, you could use the exact same connection we've used at the top and then fix that into the base if you want it to be freestanding or want a separate mock. Likewise, you could even have a white frying pan stud with a blue translucent 1x1 round brick to make it look like Eve's flying. For those of you that can't read my mind, now we've got this top-down desk cam. I can show you the pieces that I'm talking about. These frying pan studs, they're the little 1-length bar with the stud on the end, and then you'd want to get yourself one of the Iron Man, you know, engine repulsor looking bricks like this, the classic ones from the Iron Man 1, 2 and 3 sets, and then connect the two, stack them underneath, and Eve could be flying. Though that being said, there's not much space in this TV. For the head, we have the exact same brick that I've just shown you, around 1x1, this time in a trans clear, though you could build out the environment if you did want to camouflage that a bit more, with a rounded 2x2 jumper, and then on top of that, a 1x2 rounded off plate in black to act as like that screen you see, but Eva has blue eyes. So what I want to do is get some blue color in either side of this jumper. Either side, I did it again. And for that, I've got this blue whiteboard pen that I'm just gonna color a little section, both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect circles because these are hopefully gonna be covered up by this black plate, and we'll be able to see a little bit of blue. It looks more purpley, and I'm not sure the camera's picking up on it, but it's better than nothing. I think I just need new whiteboard pens. I do actually have another blue one, and I don't know if the camera's catching this. I might be headless right now, but I have started making a list of January sets I want to pick up. So if there's something you want to see reviewed in the new year, let me know in the comments. This blue is definitely a lot, but look at that. Look at the difference between the old one and the new one. This one's gonna show up a lot better. Wait, why did that one look black? That's better. And now putting on the black 1x2, yes, that's much better. You can see Eve has some blue eyes in there. The whiteboard pen or the dry erase markers, whatever you want to call them, I'll trust the Bic whiteboard pen to be the one that pulls through. will rub off when you're done with it. You don't really need to use soap or water half the time. Just rub it off with your thumb and we'll be able to put the head just above the body like it's floating. Though of course I would recommend washing your bricks with, you know, warm soapy water, especially if you're buying them secondhand. And this is what we left with last episode. We technically didn't have the eyes for Eve, but there's a few characters I've missed, and for those I want to take you to the actual Lego set. WALL-E's got quite a few sets. We saw the Ideas one recently at the Lego convention we went to, and we do have the brick heads, which I've shown so many times on the channel. I am not going to show you again. You have to wait until next time. But this is the newest version, 43297. That wasn't right. WALL-E and Eva. £60, great price, especially considering the original idea set was probably a little more than this. But it comes with 4 characters. You can see Eve, you can see WALL-E, you can see Mo or Mo, and there's also the little cockroach, which I'm pretty sure has a name, but I cannot remember it. Oh, WALL-E, Eve, Mo, and Hal. That's the name of the cockroach. Thank you to everyone that was shouting it at the screen. We've got Hal down here, who's going to be the hardest to create minifigure scale. Cockroaches are teeny, but we're going to start off with Mo. If you thought WALL-E was easy, just wait till you see how quick and easy this is built together. We're starting off with a white base, a 1x1 plate, and attaching a rounded off bar 1x1 plate, and then another white plate on top. That gives us the separation between the body and the head, and we're going to finish it off with a translucent red 1x1 stud, tile stud, and that's it. That is our MO here. And just to give you a better look, so my hand isn't covering it because it is genuinely that small, I am going to put it down. How did we have what? Did we have WALL-E connected in the middle of the jumper? Wow, I did not realize WALL-E would have connected. I don't think WALL-E does connect down this way. Maybe WALL-E was at a slight angle, but here is Mo, which does add up to about minifigure scale, half the height of WALL-E. I'm very impressed, but we're still missing our Hal. I would also love to one day build a WALL-E hut that is big enough for the £60 set, not these guys. That's probably really easy to do as a modular. If we get round to building another city, I am heavily debating doing a winter themed Christmassy village, but I think I'm going to save that for next year so that I can prepare it a lot better. Either way, we're not going to be doing Earth like 2800 and something, which is when WALL-E is set, and WALL-E themselves is tasked in preparing the world for the return of the humans by cubing up all the rubbish, and kind of looks like WALL-E's building homes out of rubbish, which is something we do see. Recently, I packed a lot of plastic bags into a milk carton, and there are a few companies you can send those to then use those to build houses for people that really need them. They're good insulators, and that's definitely something, if you're keen on recycling, I recommend you look into. Right, WALL-E's being temperamental. I guess he's just being pegged down on both the studs, but there we go. We've got some cubes in the foreground, which definitely add, and finally for Hal, we're using one element. One by one clip tile. It gets the two, cockroach little, the ears, the antennas, the arms. That's a praying mantis. But it does get the shape of the cockroach well. If I could do anything, and this is a brittler brown than most of the newer elements, it would be just to shave off the front of it and have those coming out. Maybe there is a way to get what I want without having to destroy a Lego brick, but we're going to use this 1x1 clip. It's the smallest element that represents Hal the cockroach, and now we have the full minifigure lineup. I'm going to have to create one of those hover chairs for some minifigures and create more scenes from WALL-E. If you want a video dedicated to WALL-E, drop a like on this video, and I'm not going to set a goal. If you want it, I'll make it happen. Putting WALL-E back in the TV. That's looking a bit more like all that. That's kind of like a curtain call at the end of the show where all the characters come out and do their bow, get their roses. I feel like there should be a vase of roses or something. Maybe not a vase. Don't throw vases of roses on stage anywhere. Anyway, don't throw vases. That is dangerous. But I feel like I could add some roses there. If there are any other characters you think I can fit in, or anything else you think of when you think of Wally, maybe if I do make that video, your comment will be featured in that. Let me know down below. I've also just edited the Game Boy from yesterday, and I want to say I am sorry for how dirty this mat is. It needs a clean, and it will get one very, very soon. I think give it a week and I will put this in the wash, and maybe we'll do a side by side. This is it before, and I can't show you after because this video is going to be posted by then. But I also just want to apologize for the way my hands look. They're not bad, I know, but I've had like a blistered knuckle, and I actually, you don't want to know the gory details. I've been working a lot on Lego, maybe too much recently. I'm going to take it a bit slower coming up towards the Christmas sprint and over Halloween. But don't worry, there will still be videos on this channel. I've got a load of ideas to work through by the end of the year, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, may the bricks be with you always.